Welcome to our Communiversity today, sponsored by Pendleton Community Bank and Cucumber and Company, a community affairs program from West Virginia Institute of Technology in Beckley, hosted by Dr. T. Melanie Stewart, president of West Virginia University Institute of Technology, working to make a difference in Southern West Virginia. Guest opinions expressed on this program may not represent the opinions of West Virginia University Institute of Technology, Southern Communications, or its sponsors. And now, with today's program, here's
Welcome
Dr.
to our
Stewart.
Communiversity today. Dr. Melanie Stewart, president of WVU Tech here in Beckley. And I'm thankful that you chose to be with us today as we explore our Communiversity. As always, I like to remind people that I believe that Communiversity means the community is the university and the university is the community. And I think when you couple those two entities together, you have the opportunity for not only the purpose of integrating, but more importantly, elevating our community. And with elevation in mind, I'm so happy to have Melanie Stewart, who serves as the Scholarship and Grant Coordinator at the Beckley Area Foundation, to talk to us about the role that her and her organization plays in not only scholarshiping, but also providing grants for nonprofits in this area. And I think this is so important because as we look at the rising costs of things, it is a blessing to know that individuals like Melanie and people at the Beckley Area Foundation have our interest at heart. And so as always on our Communiversity today, we like to ask you to explore and think about two things. And that's simply why not us and why not now? So we're going to dig into those things with Melanie Stewart, Scholarship and Grant Coordinator of the Beckley Area Foundation, right after this break. So stay tuned for our Communiversity today on News Talk WWNR.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride at Pendleton Community Bank. Our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Discover WVU Tech right in your backyard. With 6 ABET accredited engineering programs ranked among the top 100 for engineering and nursing nationwide, WVU Tech offers the best return on investment in West Virginia. Our small, supportive campus is home to high-demand programs in fields like hospitality and culinary, chemical forensics, and the only 4-year construction management degree in West Virginia. Learn more about all the exciting things happening at Tech at wvutech.edu today.
If you want a real cool website, I'll tell you what to do. Call them cats at Cucumber and they'll build a site for you. Our people are so friendly and our updates are the fastest. All it's gonna cost $100 plus taxes.
These cats build, host, and update for just $100 a month.
Oh yeah!
Find out how at 304-250-0123 or at cucumberandcompany.com.
Welcome back to our Communiversity today. Again, we're visiting with Melanie Stewart, who serves as the Scholarship and Grant Coordinator at the Beckley Area Foundation. Melanie, how are you today?
I'm well, thank you.
All right. Now, Melanie, I just got to cut straight to the chase. You do not know how to spell your name, okay? Melanie is one of those Stewart folks, and the real Stewart spelling is Stuart. So, I just had to say that to you and
fine.
all of that good stuff. So now that I've educated you on the proper spelling of your name, again, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
All right. We always have that great humor because being a Stewart, she knows that one of the most misspelled last names are our last names, the different variations. Yes. And it's always so funny. You'll go somewhere and they will mix the STE and the STUART together, and you just give up. And I just use my first initial or something.
I usually just spell it for them.
Spell it, and I spelled it, and they still get it wrong. So, obviously, Melanie Stewart, and tell us a little bit about yourself, Melanie.
Well, my name is Melanie Stewart, and of course, I inherited that name by marriage. I've been living here in Beckley for Almost 30 years now, and been married for 31 years. And so I have a background in education, higher education, but started working at Beckley Area Foundation in November of 2020, and started there as a part-time employee as just the scholarship coordinator. So this is my sixth cycle that we're doing right now for scholarships, and I just joined the grant side last June for the grant program. So love Beckley, love the area, love students. Since I have a background in higher education, I love to see students succeed. It's really kind of like a passion for me, and I love being involved with students. So yeah, so it's just a great place to be, a great place to work, and we do great work. We really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you said you've been here for 31 years or so. Where were you before here?
Oh, before, goodness, my husband and I have been married almost 30 years. And so we were in Charleston for just a little brief time early in our marriage, but we've been here ever since then. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So you're a West Virginia native.
Yes. I'm born and raised in Summers County. Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I'm always intrigued by if people are not from West Virginia, what brought them to West Virginia.
Right.
And, I think that is very important, to have that foundation of where they come from. So you've been in education, higher education. What kind of roles there?
Yes. Well, goodness, I've been teaching now for over 25 years, I guess. I started at the College of West Virginia, and taught in their ultrasound program. And then it was, of course, went into Mountain State University. And then Mountain State University then was taken over by University of Charleston. So I taught at all those higher learning facilities and still teach for Bluefield State University as an adjunct professor. So.
And so what do you find as the most rewarding and also potentially challenging things about higher ed?
Honestly, I think it's being in a specialized program. Of course, you do have a specific, type of student, and I think that for students nowadays, I think it's just the whole outlook, it's just changed so much over the years. I think with advancements in technology, students do kind of lose that classroom one-on-one basis. I think that there's a missing link there sometimes. So I like being in the classroom. And but students are amazing. I think for me, the big thing is seeing them finally get things when something in their brain clicks and that it does. And being in a specialized profession, they have to be able to obtain certain registry exams. And so that's always a challenge for them. And so I just like teaching them and seeing them learn. It's a great thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from knee deep in higher education to moving over to the Beckley Area Foundation with scholarships and grant coordination, how long have you been in that role?
I've been in that role since 2020. November of 2020 is when I first started. Yes. And still continued to teach as well. So I have a part-time role there at Beckley Area Foundation, although it feels like full-time most times. So yeah, I've been, like I said, been there since 2020, and just plug along every year. Kind of the same thing happens every year with the cycle, and just kind of the flow of the work that we do there. So it's rewarding for sure. Yeah.
So let's talk about the cycle. Beckley Area Foundation. One of the things that I am very impressed with, I recently was at a local high school giving away some scholarships on behalf of the foundation and some other entities. And, as part of the opening remarks, I reminded people that this particular cycle, Beckley Area Foundation is going to give away approximately $750,000. So tell me about where the money comes from first.
Okay, sure. The money does come from permanent endowments that have been given by donors. Donors come in and they want to start a scholarship fund. So that money that they put forth for that, of course, you have to have a minimum for that in order for it to be permanent. We don't spend any of the original or what's in there originally. So we make those scholarships, or that the scholarship money comes from a percentage off of what is earned. So actually 3.5% of what is earned is what the scholarship will be awarded through. So we have currently approximately 220 scholarship endowment funds at Beckley Area Foundation.
And so with that, you have the money, the endowment, the various things. You go and you talk about the cycle. Define that cycle.
The cycle. Okay. So for me, the cycle begins. So I'm in a current cycle right now because we are now just beginning to award those scholarships. So I base it off of when our portal opens. So for scholarship portal, it will open because we have an online application. It opens in January 5th, actually, of every year, and closes on March 1st. So that is when students will go on and apply. We have a universal application. So that means that students, when they apply, they only have to have one application, and it filters them into all the scholarships that they're eligible for. So, for example, if you have a Woodrow Wilson High School student, they have to fill out one application, but they may be eligible for 40-some scholarships. So right now we are awarding those scholarships. In May is when seniors have their award ceremonies, and that's of course what you did for us the other day, which we appreciate so much. And students are beginning to get their awards. The cycle continues through June. They have to accept their scholarship, and they have to let us know where they'll be attending school with their student identification number. And then we have a goal of getting money out to colleges by July 15th. So there's a lot of processing, a lot of making sure students are going where they're supposed to be going and getting that money to the correct places. So that's kind of our cycle. In the off season, so like in the fall of the year, I do a lot of visiting high schools and different places, talking with seniors and getting them ready for the application process. Yeah.
So when you think about the application process, how difficult is it?
Well, I don't think it's difficult, but sometimes you get those seniors who maybe don't want to write an essay or don't think that it's a little tedious in what they're doing. Our application is truly based off of characteristics of the student, things that maybe something based off of maybe like community service or their extracurricular activities. Of course, it will ask for GPA and for test scores. It will ask for student aid index based off the FAFSA. There are several things there. And depending on the type of scholarship, it may ask for an essay, or it may ask you to have proof of maybe like a heritage relationship or something like that. So there are other components of the application. But as far as the student going in, really it's just their information, providing that, and kind of showing who they are through that application, because that's, of course, important to committees to see that.
And so how many people apply?
So this past year, we had 380 students apply, which was a record year for us. And to give you an idea of how many scholarships we have and what that does, the system that we use, the software that we use, it filters those students, like I said, into the specific, eligible processes is what we call them. There were right at 6,000 processes. So that means that you have to look at those applications that are coming through of those 380 some students. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, Melanie Stewart from the Beckley Area Foundation in studio with us today. We're going to take a short break, so stick with us for more Our Communiversity today on News Talk WWNR.
Discover WVU Tech right in your backyard. With 6 ABET accredited engineering programs ranked among the top 100 for engineering and nursing nationwide, WVU Tech offers the best return on investment in West Virginia. Our small, supportive campus is home to high-demand programs in fields like hospitality and culinary, chemical forensics, and the only 4-year construction management degree in West Virginia. Learn more about all the exciting things happening at Tech at wvutech.edu today.
If you want a real cool website, I'll tell you what to do. Call them cats at Cucumber and they'll build a site for you. Our people are so friendly and our updates are the fastest. All it's gonna cost $100 plus taxes.
These cats build, host, and update for just $100 a month.
Oh yeah!
Find out how at 304-250-0123 or at cucumberandcompany.com.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back to our Communiversity today. Again in studio is Melanie Stewart, who serves as the Scholarship and Grant Coordinator for the Beckley Area Foundation. And now, Melanie, we've been talking a lot about the scholarship process, and some students may think it's arduous or whatever, but you give awards. What is the range of the scholarship awards?
Question. There's a big range. We like for scholarships to be at least $500. $1,000 is great. So that would mean that when we send that money in July, it will go for fall and spring semester. It gets split between those two semesters. We have some scholarships. For example, last night at Woodrow, we gave away 10 scholarships at $8,000 renewable. So that's $32,000 for that student to go to school over the course of 4 years. So we have a big range of what that is. We'd like for them to be 1,000. 2,000 is great, just to have some impact on that student and on their finances and helping to pay for their education.
All right. So let's talk about renewal
Sure.
or renewable. When you look and you talk about the range from 500 all the way up to 8,000, and then a renewable scholarship. For that, how do people go about, okay, I got a scholarship from the Beckley Area Foundation this year. How do I go about getting the same or a different scholarship the next year?
You would have to reapply. If you're on a renewable scholarship, then we have a process where students do complete forms to renew it for the next year. If you're a student that is just a one-time award, we do have collegiate scholarships. So we encourage students once they're in school, because a lot of times that freshman year, it seems like a lot of students have that money up and they can pay. It's when the sophomore, junior, senior hits, and where did that freshman money go? It was just a one-time award. So we try to encourage students to please, yes, apply still when they're in college. And so the renewable, like I said, is something that the student does have to keep on top of year after year.
And so how often do you find people coming back to renew their scholarships?
We have a pretty high retention rate in that area when it comes to that, because it goes through our software. And of course, I'm on students all the time, emailing them, asking them to make sure they fill out the right forms and to get that into me. So like we have a application process for those renewals in January and at the end of May. So they have to provide transcripts and do those sorts of things, fill out. And there's a process there, right? I have to know that you're still in school. I have to know that you're still going towards this degree, going in the same field that you initially were in, those sorts of things. So it is a process once you get that renewal scholarship. Yes. Yeah.
And so when you think about the scholarship, whether it's one time students get renewed their whole time through college, the Beckley Area Foundation through this process has left an indelible mark on,
Yes.
people and their education. Tell me about some of those experiences.
Yeah. So we always do, at the end of if it's a 4-year renewal, we send out an exit survey to students, just kind of asking their experience, how our process was, what can we do better, but also what kind of impact did it make on them in their college, education. I think most of students that reply to that really say this really helped me to not have any debt. I think those are the big ones for us, where they actually are saying I'm getting ready to graduate debt free with no student loans, and it's because of this money that helped me to do that. So those are the stories and the things that we really keep dear to our heart, because we know what we're doing is making a huge difference in those students' lives.
And so talking about making a difference, oftentimes people think you have to have a perfect GPA or above a 4.0 Do you have scholarship opportunities for those students like I was that were trying to figure themselves out?
Of course, yes, we do, and we a lot of our scholarships are need-based scholarships. I will say that. So we do look at that student aid index that I mentioned that is provided by the FAFSA. So we do look at that, but we have a lot of students that are in that. Maybe a little bit lower than a 3.0 or a 3. We do have specific scholarships that are, let's say, 2.0 to 3.0. And so it's not always based off that merit, but we, of course, do look at it. There's just a variety of things that we look at there and trying to find the student that fits that scholarship, right? And then we have some scholarships that are so specific, we may only have one or two that are eligible for it. So it just depends, again, on what that donor's looking for, what their intent is, and if we can fulfill that intent for them.
And so the scholarships you give away, are they restricted to just West Virginia or specific schools? How does that work?
Sure. We've got most of our scholarships, of course, are based here in Raleigh County for matriculating seniors. So to our 4 high schools here. We do have some that also apply to private schools here in Raleigh County. We have specific scholarships that go to Webster County High School there, Midland Trail High School, Oak Hill High School. There are some in Wyoming County that are awarded. We also award out of state. There's some colleges out of state that we award to. We award specific scholarships to West Virginia University, Institute of Technology, WVU, really all schools, Concord University. There's just a lot of schools that we actually award to outside of our actual application, that we call those our external ones that go through. So out of those 220 scholarships, I think there are on our application process about 150. So outside of that would be external type scholarships.
And I think it's just phenomenal and fascinating the amount of money that you give away, the work that you do. And you tell me you're on a part-time basis.
Yeah.
I've heard 3 or 4 full-time jobs, so you must need a pay raise or something in there.
Well, they're good to me over there. So.
Well, I want to shift gears real quick with some of the time we have remaining, because your title is complicated. It has scholarship and grant coordinator. And so when you think about the grant part, recently I saw where the Beckley Area Foundation awarded $262,030.43 to 39 different grantees. Tell us about the grant process.
Sure. I just recently have taken over the grant coordinator. We had a gentleman that worked that job, and he left, and Dina asked if I would like to step into that role, and I said yes. We're fortunate that process happens on the same platform as the scholarships. So that works off the same platform. So the grant is, our community grant is the one you're referring to that we do one time a year, and that happens around this time as well. So it's very busy in the spring part of the year at Beckley Area Foundation. So we do award up to $10,000 for those grantees. And those are your 501c3 organizations here in Raleigh County, churches, schools. There's a variety of different organizations that apply to that. And so specific projects they're doing, maybe they're wanting to do a food type project, food pantry. We had some this past cycle that needed help with putting roofs on their buildings. So it's a variety of what we can do for that community grant. But it's definitely stays here in Raleigh County and is supporting the people here in some way in Raleigh County.
And so that grant process using the same system,
Yes.
You go and you have these nonprofits. I know you awarded 39 recently. How many people did you have to apply for those grants?
This past year, our number was down just a little bit from that, but for the community grant, there were, I think, right at 46 or 47 that applied. So we did award to 39 of those, yes.
And, for our listeners, if you are a 501c3 nonprofit, to know that 47 applied and 39 got up to $10,000 in funding.
Right.
It seems to me that the Beckley Area Foundation is really committed to trying to put that money in the community.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And that, of course, comes from our unrestricted funding. And we have over 300,000 to award in that area if we need to. So it again it's very beneficial to any 501c3 that's looking to do some type of project or working on something that they're trying to help the community. And so excited about that too, and what they're going to bring this coming, because that cycle runs a little bit longer, and they have almost a full year to do their project that they're going to do. So it will not be due until March of next year.
And so when you think about those projects and you think about some of the things funded, what are some things that stick out to you?
I think for me, some of the funding, what sticks out to me, I really like the ones that, of course, there's always a food shortage for our families in Raleigh County. So I think that is a big one. We have Helping Hands is an organization that's ran out of First Baptist Church. They're always great grantees that really put their money towards food distribution and things like that are needed in the community. I think those stand out to me the most, are the ones that I feel like are really needed in our area. And we're really fortunate that we have people that will step up and work those organizations to do that.
One quick final word.
Sure.
What's the greatest thing about your job?
Well, I always tell students, this is what I tell them, it's really fun to give away other people's money. So I don't know if that's on the funnier side, but I think really the best part is just rewarding. Just like last night, I went to Woodrow Wilson High School, and to see those seniors and them coming up on stage and getting their awards, it makes everything that I do through the year so rewarding. And to know that they're going on to bigger and better things. And so I like that I'm a part of that. It's very special. Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break. So stick with News Talk WWNR as we close out this edition of our Communiversity Today.
Discover WVU Tech right in your backyard. With 6 ABET accredited engineering programs ranked among the top 100 for engineering and nursing nationwide, WVU Tech offers the best return on investment in West Virginia. Our small, supportive campus is home to high-demand programs in fields like hospitality and culinary, chemical forensics, and the only 4-year construction management degree in West Virginia. Learn more about all the exciting things happening at Tech at wvutech.edu today.
If you want a real cool website, I'll tell you what to do. Call them cats at Cucumber and they'll build a site for you. Our people are so friendly and our updates are the fastest. All it's gonna cost $100 plus taxes.
These cats build, host, and update for just $100 a month.
Oh yeah!
Find out how at 304-250-0123 or at cucumberandcompany.com.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back to our Communiversity Today. I want to thank our guest, Melanie Stewart, for sharing her time and talent with us as she does amazing work with the Beckley Area Foundation. Again, I've come to know the Beckley Area Foundation recently for the work that they do. The notion that with a $1.1 million seed investment back in 1985 has now grown to almost $80 million worth of investments that can be used to uplift our community. And through that upliftment, whether it's scholarships for young people who want to go to college, think about the impact that $750,000 annually can have on the ability for people to not only go to college, but more importantly, get through college at an affordable rate. And then with affordability in mind, and again with community commitment in mind, the Beckley Area Foundation goes out and recently has given more than $260,000 to nonprofits, thanks to the leadership and guidance of the scholarship and grant coordinator. These are examples, ladies and gentlemen, of how we can build our Communiversity. When we come together, we share not only our time, not only our talent, but are treasures too. So please visit wwnrradio.com for additional information about the Beckley Area Foundation and how you can help build our Communiversity today for a brighter Southern West Virginia tomorrow.
You've been listening to Our Communiversity Today, sponsored by Pendleton Community Bank and Cucumber and Company, a production of West Virginia University Institute of Technology and Communiversity partner, Southern Communications in Beckley. For more on this program and contact information, visit our website at wwnrradio.com.